Hello, welcome to Edupedia World. This is Learning Tagalog Language. So as I said a while ago, I show you the chart, we're going to discuss the one that in the column, the first column, one by one. So this time we're going to discuss about the voiceless stops. The Tagalog phoneme P, T, and K differ from their English counterparts. The initial phonemes of pil, til, and hil, for example, in several ways. In the first place, the English phonemes have aspirated or allophones which occur at the beginning of the stressed syllables, while the Tagalog phonemes are unaspirated in all positions. Unaspirated allophones of the voiceless stops do occur in English. However, in certain other positions, for example, we have after, as in spiel, steal, skill, and these allophones are similar to the Tagalog sounds. Unaspirated sounds is one that is followed by a little h like puff or breathe. An unaspirated sound is one that is not. Again, in English phonemes, we have the aspirated. In Tagalog phonemes, we have the unaspirated. Again, when we say aspirated, that is followed by a little h like puff, breathe, and when we say unaspirated, it sounds that not have letter h. In addition to the consistent absence of aspiration, two of the Tagalog stops T and K differ from their English counterparts in point of articulation as well. Tagalog T is dental, while English T is alveolar. In American English, furthermore, T is often voiced between vowels at the beginning of an unstressed syllable, in which case it ceases to contrast with D. Thus, many Americans pronounce shutter as shudder or ladder as ladder, identically. Tagalog T is never voiced, regardless of its position in a word. The T of botas or boots, for example, does not differ appreciably from the T of tao, person, and it's quite distinct from the D of boda, ready. The point of articulation of English K varies noticeable according to the sound that follows it. The K of keep, for instance, is palatal, while the of cope is velar. Together, Tagalog K does not show this kind of variation. The K of kirot, twinge, and the K of kurot, pinch, are both velar. The point of articulation of Tagalog phoneme is furthermore usually somewhat further back than that of even the most restricted or retracted allophones of English K. Tagalog K has a fricative allophone, which may be transcribed X. It is a velar fricative identical with Tagalog K in point of articulation, but differing from it in the sufficient space is left between the back of the tongue and the velum of the air to escape with audible friction. The sound is similar to the sound represented by ch in the conventional speech of such German words as ak or bak. In Tagalog, the sound is a frequent substitute for k between vowels, especially between low and back vowels. In such words as ako, I, wakas, finish, suka, vinegar, naku, mother or mine. Therefore, the fricative allophone is quite common, as it in the phrases like pupunta kami, will go, where a word initial K becomes intervocalic. The glottal stop is a sound that occurs in English at the beginning of the second syllabic of the expression o, a. In American English, it is also fairly common as an allophone of T before a syllabic noun. We have here the cotton, can. A consonant is said to be a syllabic when it is the most prominent sound in a syllable. Apart from its use in expression and as an allophone of T, the glottal stop occurs only sporadically in English, and it is not usually considered to be one of the English phonemes. In Tagalog, on the other hand, glottal stop is as much as a part of the phonemic system as any of the other consonant phonemes, and it is the contrast with other consonant at sh beginning. In the middle and at the end of the words, speakers of English are likely to substitute K to Tagalog glottal stop in a certain position and to omit the sound altogether in others, especially in phrase final position, where omission of glottal stop is likely to be interpreted by the Tagalog speaker as a use of phoneme H. The tendency to omit the sound is reinforced by conventional spelling in which it is not represented. The neither substitution nor omission is in general permissible is evident from such pairs of words as the following, in which glottal stop contrasts with K, with H, or with absence of itself. For example, we have here aso for the dog, kaso for the case, pilit or piit, imprison, pikit, close the eyes, paso, burn, pasok, entrance, anay, termite, hanay, row, kaon, fetch, kahon, box, bata, child, bata, bathrobe, mag-alis, remove, magalis, full of source. There are, however, certain cases in which it's omissible and other cases in which it's obligatory omitted. A word initial glottal stop is optional omitted when the word occurs in the middle of a phrase. Thus, the initial glottal stop of a word like ano, what, is omissible when the word occurs in a phrase like sa ano, on what, which may be pronounced either sa ano or sano. A glottal stop within a word, particularly between vowels, is also omissible. Thus, saan, where, may be pronounced either saan or san. So when you're asking where, you can say saan or san. Word final glottal stop is obligatorily omitted and is replaced by vowel length when the word occurs in the middle of a phrase. Thus, mahaba, it's long, is phonemically mahaba, while mahababa, is it long, is mahababa. All the Tagalog voiceless stop phonemes have unreleased allophones which occur at the end of the phrase. A final unreleased stop is one in which the air passage remains blocked until after the cessation of the outward air stream, with the result that the release when it occurs is unaudible. In English too, final voiceless stops are often unreleased, but the phenomenon is somewhat more general in Tagalog. So general that an ordinary release PT or K at the end of the phrase sounds decidedly non-Tagalog. This structure does not apply to release final glottal stop, and which is fairly common. In place of the unreleased final allophones, PT and K, nasally released allophones sometimes occur as a free alternate. A nasally released stop is one in which, after the complete blockage of the air, the velum is lowered and allowing the air to escape through the nose. Further examples of phonemes with PT and K are puto, bread, tuto, learn, kuto, loose, dapo, aligned on, dato, title of the nobility, dako, place, ulap, cloud, ulat, report, and ulak, real. So thank you for listening, Edupedia World.